أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله ورسوله ولا تولوا عنه وأنتم تسمعون ولا تكونوا كالذين قالوا سمعنا وهم لا يسمعون إن شر الدواب عند الله الصم البكم الذين لا يعقلون ولو علم الله فيهم خيرا لأسمعهم ولو أسمعهم لتولوا وهم معرضون يا أيها الذين آمنوا استجيبوا لله وللرسول إذا دعاكم لما يحييكم واعلموا أن الله يحول بين المرء وقلبه وأنه إليه تحشرون صدق الله العظيم. Previously, where the ayat pertaining to Badr were mentioned, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when one such ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlighted why the nusrah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is for the believers and not for the disbelievers. There we did the ayah that ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ شَاقُّوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, that the reason is opposition and disobedience to Allah and His Rasul. So opposition and disobedience to Allah and His Rasul berefts a people of the nusrah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, opposition and disobedience to Allah and His Rasul berefts a people of Allah's nusrah and His assistance. So juxtaposed to that, over here in this ayah, the believers are being addressed, and the believers are being told that continue, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ati'u Allah wa rasulah, continue with your obedience to Allah and His Rasul, وَلَا تَوَلَّوْا عَنْهُ, and do not turn away from that, وَأَنْتُمْ تَسْمَعُونَ, whilst you are listening with سَمَاعُ اِعْتِقَادٍ, that you listen with aqidah, and you listen to the ayat, the wahi that's being revealed. That shouldn't merely be, it shouldn't only suffice upon just listening and believing in it. But the true benefit of that will be if you put that into practice. There's actually ita'ah to that. And do not be لا تكونوا كالذين قالوا سمعنا وهم لا يسمعون. Do not be like those who say, yeah, we hear, but in reality they don't hear. What does that mean? The ulama of Tafsir, they explain here that sama' or listening or hearing is of 4 levels. The first one is that a person doesn't even listen to it. You don't even lend an ear to it. You don't even want to listen to that. Nothing comes to your, you don't listen to it. You don't understand it. Obviously you're not going to believe in it, nor are you going to practice upon it because you never understood it to begin with. The second level is a person lends an ear to that. He listens to that. He believes in that. However, he doesn't put it into practice. The second level is that you listen to that, but you don't believe in it. You listen to it, you hear it, but you don't believe and you don't take it to your heart. So for the munafiqun, for example, the munafiqun, they were there for all the, they would be there for the salahs. They would even say in the majalis of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the hypocrite. Can you imagine? They used to sit in the majlis of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They heard direct the hadith from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You and I didn't. Yet they're munafiq. They're hypocrites. Why? Nothing touched their hearts. They didn't believe in it, so they didn't benefit from it. The third level is that you listen to it, you hear it, you believe in it, but then you don't practice upon it. So at least this level saved the person from Jahannam. Aqidah was sufficient to save the person from Jahannam, and that puts him into Iman, and eventually he'll go into Jannah. But the true benefit, all the fruits that will be of Islam and Iman, that will only be if he puts it into practice. All the anwar, the barakat, all of that will be if he actually obeys all of that. So that being the 4th level, that a person listens to it, believes in it, and then he practices upon it as well. So that is what the Quran al-Kareem in these ayat is calling us towards. إِنَّ شَرَّ الدَّوَابِ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ الصُّمُّ الْبُكْمُ الَّذِينَ. The worst of people. In fact, the word dawab is being used here, referring to beasts and animals. Now, the indication and the one who is being intended are these such people. But the Quran Kareem is not even using the word sharr nas. It's not saying nas, people. Because it's not humane, it's not befitting of a human that you hear something good, or that firstly you don't even want to lend an ear to something good. That's what we call jahilana. It's very ignorant. That you don't want to even give an ear to maybe something which will be beneficial to you. Then when you hear that benefit, you just turn a blind eye to that. So that's not humane. Why? Because insan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you aql, intellect. Intellect demands that what's khair and good for a person, you hear it, you say, okay, this is, you hear of this, you say, okay, this is what's going to be successful, right? I believe that this such and such a'mal, such and such deed lead me towards Jannah. A believer who says, I believe if I do this, I go to Jannah. If I do this, I get thawab, ranks in Jannah, etc. It's all these mashallah things that we hear. Now, how foolish is that after hearing all that, believing in that, then you still don't practice on it? And the opposite, you hear all these things, that these things will lead a person to Jahannam, these are sayyat, this brings the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this brings dhulumat and darkness into the heart, it's bad for my spirituality, and then you go towards that. So that's not very aqil-like, is it? That's not very intellectual what a person is doing. So that's why this word dawab is being used. That means your animal. إن شر الدواب عند الله الصم البكم. Sum يعني deaf, bukum يعني dumb, deaf and dumb. الذين لا يعقلون, they have no aql, no intellect. That's the example of such people. ولو علم الله فيهم خيرا لأسمعهم. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that they had any khair in them. What does it mean by khair? Khair here means talab, any desire, any want. That they want the good. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's nizam sunnatullah ala is that if a person has true desire, true want, they search. People say, I'm searching for. When that person searches and truly searches with ikhlas, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens ways, at least for belief for that person. The issue is that many people say they search with the baggage. They search with certain clauses, that it has to be within this frame, how I want it. Within that, that's how I should fit God. If God, if Allah, if the ahkam, they don't fit within these parameters I've already set for myself, then I cast that out. That's the difficulty. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that they have true talab in them and desire and want towards this, لَأَسْمَعَهُمْ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have even allowed them to hear, yani be a beneficial hearing for them, that it would touch their heart and they have aqidah after that. وَلَوْ أَسْمَعَهُمْ, at this point, even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala facilitates for them that they hear all the ayat of the Quran Kareem and whatnot, لَتَوَلَّوْا وَهُمْ مُعْرِضُونَ, they'll just turn away in this way, evading the truth. It won't be beneficial to them. Why? Because they don't want it. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, at the end again, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اسْتَجِيبُوا لِلَّهِ وَلِلرَّسُولِ, answer the call of Allah and His Rasul, and it's made. At the time of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, this was a masala, while Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam was amongst the Sahaba, that if the Rasul of Allah is to call anyone, immediately you have to respond. No matter what duty they may be involved in. Whenever, if physically Rasul calls someone, you have to answer to that. After the matter, this refers, even at that time referred to, and still refers to fulfilling the sunnah of Rasul ﷺ, what he calls us towards khair and jannah, etc. A'mal salihah. إِذَا دَعَكُمْ لِمَا يُحْيِيكُمْ, that which gives you life. What gives you life? Any good things which will give you the everlasting bliss of the akhirah. That's the hayat. The hayat is that hayat. That's the life that you're going for. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَحُولُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَقَلْبِهِ, that know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes or interposes between a person and his own heart. What does this mean? Ulama have explained this in a couple ways. One is that when an opportunity of good comes, when an opportunity of good presents itself, then don't falter in that. Then a person shouldn't say, okay, maybe I'll do it, maybe not. Because tomorrow you don't know what your situation will be. Today you may have health and the opportunity comes of doing something for a service of deen. You have health, you can do it, then go for it. Who saw health tomorrow? Today you have wealth, opportunity comes, spend on that. You don't know what you have that tomorrow. Opportunity comes today you have tawfiq and this good thought came to your heart. Tomorrow maybe that same good thought won't be there. So opportunities come and go. People's situations come and change. Today you have life, tomorrow you don't have life. So know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command, the qadr qadha of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you may think and plan and postpone all of that, but that opportunity may not be there. The other is وَعَلَمُنَ اللَّهَ يَحُولُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَقَلْبِهِ, that when a person does good deeds, a'mal salihah, then the barakah of that stops many shurur and fitan. One good deed leads to the second good deed, the second to the third to the fourth. And the opposite, that when a person continues and continues doing wrong, then one wrong and one sayyah called brings the other, and the second to the third, and that ظُلُمَاتٌ بَعْضُهَا فَوْقَ, that just continues to pile one on top of the other. Then that person, eventually he becomes mahroom and not able to benefit from the khayr. وَأَنَّهُ إِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ. Know that eventually you will be resurrected in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the understanding.